My name is Alec Toombs. I'm here out of Indianapolis, Indiana with the Film Yap. I'm here today with James Clayton, star, producer, and director of Bulletproof. The movie co-stars Vinnie Jones and Lena LeCompte and will be available in select theaters and on VOD beginning this Friday, August 19th. James, thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's my extreme pleasure.
I definitely got a 80s, 90s action vibe off of Bulletproof. Was this intentional on behalf of you and your writers / co-stars, Cooper Bibo and Danny Mac? If so, what are some of your favorite films from that era?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. You know, I really wanted to make a movie that was, very similar to what I grew up watching, in the 80s and the 90s. During our prep, we were talking a lot about Indiana Jones. We were talking a lot about Lethal Weapon, Bad Boys, and so those were like the archetypes of what we were looking at. And it was really because we wanted to make a movie that was a good summer popcorn film that had deep themes, like real stakes, much like Lethal Weapon, but there was a levity to it because at the end of the day, we wanted to make something that was going to uplift the audience.
Nice. Vinnie Jones comes across as a very imposing character on screen. How did he become attached to the project, and what was he like to work with?
Well, he was attached to the project through a producing partner of mine. Matthew Robert Kelly has a relationship with him, and he's a fantastic producer. And so I was talking with him because I thought Vinnie would be perfect for this part. I always envisioned him for it. And so that's how that process happened. And actually, Vinnie was attached very early on. It was like me and Vinnie were the first two. Now, in terms of working with him, I would say it was an extreme privilege. And he is exactly as he occurs on screen. He is imposing in real life. He's pointed. He's unstoppable. Everything he does is perfect. And I'm not even just saying this to butter him up. I told him on set, he would do a take and I'd be like, I could print the first take, but I don't want to because you're here. So we'll do one more for fun. And then the next take was great. I always tell people that he kind of reminded me of like a Charles Bronson. He's got heart to him as well, which I thought was a really interesting kind of dynamic that he brought to this movie.
Very cool. I really enjoyed the chemistry between you and Lena LeCompte. How did you guys work to build this rapport, or did it just come naturally?
That's a great question. It was one of those stars aligning things. I mean, Lena was the only actor that we auditioned for the role. I brought her in for the chemistry test, and it was just electrifying. There was really nothing that we did to build it. It was just there. And we actually had a lot of people comment on set. They went, man, the chemistry is so good. And I think it just really comes down to just a lot of luck. And she's a phenomenal actor too. So, it doesn't hurt.
I was very impressed with the physical prowess, and I hope I don't butcher this gentleman's name, Janvier Katabarwa. Thank you. Who plays the Frenchman, and I especially enjoyed his introduction to the film. It was an awesome intro. How did he become attached to the project, and what was he like to work with?
Well, Janvier is amazing to work with. I mean, I think he plays, he's like a Bond villain in this movie. I actually met Janvier many years ago. Through other people in the film industry. And I always knew I wanted to put him in a movie because of his strong presence on screen, because of his martial arts background. I just look at him and I think this guy could be a movie star. So when I was developing the project, I actually wrote that part with him in mind. It was written for him. So that's how he became attached to the project. And then his actual introduction scene, that came pretty late in the game. I actually rewrote that a couple of weeks before going to camera because I felt like, I really wanted him to feel like the boogeyman in this movie.
Sure.
The original entrance was good, but it didn't have him coming, out of the pit of hell, really, so to speak.
Bulletproof is a very car chase centric movie. Do you have any favorite car chase flicks or ones that served as inspiration for this project?
Oh yeah, I think all of the great ones. I mean, we watched a lot of the Mad Max movies, Mad Max 2, Mad Max Fury Road. I watched a lot of Michael Bay movies because he's the master of car sequences. I think those were probably like the three big ones. But I will say, like, a lot of it too was us wanting to do things that we just hadn't done before. You know, my producing partner, Peacemaker Filmworks, you know, we sat down and we collaborated for a very long time on this film. And, you know, that one desert sequence where the shot's wrapping around the car and everything, like, that's not a green screen, that's not an LED projection, it's all real. And it's because we wanted to try a sequence with different camera setups and everything. So we took the opportunity to actually create a few new things as well in it.
Nice. You could feel that watching the movie, and I like tactile stuff like that, so it worked for me. I always thought Bulletproof was one word, but your title is two words. Was this done to differentiate yourselves from the Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans film?
You know, I don't know the answer to that question, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. It's never been broached with me before. I would say yes, probably to distinguish between the Damon Wayans and the Adam Sandler movie.
Okay. You thank special spiritual consultant Peter Morey in the movie's closing credits. How did your faith affect working on this film?
You knew you were going to get me with that one, didn't you?
I hadn't seen that credit, and I found it fascinating, so I figured I'd pick your brain on it if you're comfortable discussing it.
I absolutely am. It's an inside joke between an old friend of mine. So every film that I've produced, I always put him in the credits as my special spiritual advisor, not because he spiritually advises me. He actually was the officiator at my wedding. But I knew him before that. So it's my little nod to him as a token of friendship.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Do you have any other projects in the offing that you'd like to discuss?
Well, I can't discuss anything at length, but I do have three action films in the hopper. One of them is a sequel to Bulletproof, which you know, we're in development, and I'm very eager to do next year, among some other things. So it's going to be a busy time. You know, you'll definitely be seeing more of me in the next few years.
Cool. I've appreciated our time today, James. The movie, again, is Bulletproof. It'll be on VOD and select theaters this Friday the 19th. You have a good day, sir. Thank you for your time.
Hey, you too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.